I am a fan of Coi Leray.
Right.
Coi Leray is brilliant to me. Coi Leray is a superstar.
According to fresh information, Busta Rhymes is now being accused of assaulting Coi Leray, a rising talent, in a startling turn of events. According to reports, the claim made by Coi Leray's father, Benzino, has provoked strong reactions on the internet, resulting in multiple fights and attracting celebrities. 50 Cent was one of the first to react, jumping right in to openly back Busta Rhymes. The drama unfolded in this manner. 50 Cent trolled Benzino on social media while endorsing Busta Rhymes during their most recent public dispute. Benzino's persistent intensification of the altercation, he hinted, is just making things worse. This guy's a sucker who is trying to get it busted by using his daughter. You should feel ashamed, 50 remarked. Now you have 50 problems. Once the comment went viral, it highlighted a competition that now carries reputational repercussions. Clearly, tensions are rising between the groups, and boundaries are being established. To understand how this battle began, however, we need to look at its beginnings. The story starts when seasoned hip-hop icon Busta Rhymes and up-and-coming musician Coi Leray form a professional collaboration. Busta Rhymes met Coi Leray at a Brooklyn recording studio earlier this year as he was working on a new album. Busta was reportedly captivated by Coi's evolving style, unfiltered delivery, and exuberant personality. Noticing the potential for a successful collaboration, Busta is well known for his rapid-fire delivery and creative wordplay.
You should have reached out to me. You don't do no video with my daughter half naked, and you a grown-up man. You should have reached out to me.
Thought that Coi Leray may provide a new dynamic edge to his evolving sound. He thought she was a fresh talent who might add a unique touch to his evolving music. Busta devoted himself to bringing that fresh energy to his songs. Leray responded by recognizing Busta's legendary status and viewed this as a chance to get knowledge from one of the most renowned hip-hop veterans. Their respect for one another was the foundation of a successful collaboration. The two artists began brainstorming ideas for their joint project through a series of creative discussions and studio sessions. They talked about their life experiences, musical influences, and artistic goals, discovering a shared understanding and a love of telling stories with music. During one of those conversations, the foundation for their collaboration truly began to take shape. The song Luxury Life was born. Busta Rhymes contributed his signature fast-paced lines and flawless lyrics, while Coi Leray contributed melodic hooks and a high-energy performing style as the recording went on. Two distinct sounds were so skillfully blended to produce an interesting composition that showcased the abilities of both musicians. The group's stunningly spectacular music video, directed by a well-known filmmaker who has won awards for his creative cinematography, was produced to accompany the song. The visual plot mirrored the celebratory and opulent elements of the song. Coi Leray drew attention in a variety of fashionable outfits and added flair to every scenario. Supporters applauded the unexpected yet fruitful collaboration, and the publication of Luxury Life provoked strong feelings. Many people talked about the amazing chemistry between Busta and Coi Leray. As a result of their complementary yet opposing energy, the song gained widespread recognition and generated a lot of social media buzz. However, the collaboration was not universally commended. Coi Leray's father, Benzino, publicly voiced his displeasure, referring to the poor visual presentation of the song video. He was concerned about Key's attire,
About nothing on no social media,
which he described as being too revealing and improper. A respected industry veteran, Busta Rhymes, should have contacted Coi directly before placing him in such a graphically offensive setting, Benzino insisted. Instead of addressing him immediately, Busta Rhymes responded subtly. His Instagram story featured an enigmatic statement that read, "Don't ever let the devil trick you into thinking you are not blessed." The post immediately opened the door to speculation. His comments provoked debate among admirers and bystanders, who wondered whether they were a denial, a diversion, or simply a broader philosophical claim. Soon, the disagreement grew beyond the original participants. The well-known rapper 50 Cent openly backed Busta in the argument. Alone in the caption, He ridiculed Benzino for allegedly using the incident to get greater notoriety and reposted a video of his outburst on his Instagram account. "This guy's a sucker trying to use his daughter to get at Busta," the caption went. "You should be ashamed. You now have 50 issues." Alongside the message were emojis of laughing and overt allusions to Busta Rhymes. 50 Cent's participation heightened the public discourse. His post attracted thousands of replies from both fans and industry executives. As allegiances were sworn and tempers boiled, the battle grew on the internet from a disagreement about creative direction. Benzino, who never stays silent, answered with another video. He responded to it, accusing 50 Cent of being a bully and dismissing him as jealous. Apart from accusing 50 of not fulfilling his father's responsibilities, he also claimed to be the richest and most affluent person. Beyond the original artistic disagreements, the rivalry had now been quite personal. Furthermore, Benzino said that 50 Cent had deserted Lloyd Banks and Young Buck, two of his former associates. Because of this accusation, the feud turned into a full-fledged public altercation. 50 Cent and Benzino's conversations became increasingly hostile as each new post fueled an already raging fire. However, Busta Rhymes took a completely different approach during the battle. In an interview on The Way Up with Angela Yee, Busta Rhymes was open about the incident. His disappointment stemmed from Benzino's decision to air grievances publicly instead of in a direct and confidential conversation. Bua emphasized that Benzino was in possession of his contact information and could have simply contacted him in the event that there were any matters that required tactful resolution. Bua emphasized that an open discussion between men might have prevented the situation from turning into a public argument. "Because you got my phone number," he said. The interview revealed a complicated history between Bua and Benzino that was characterized by both respect and hostility. Benzino and Dave Mays, their former business partner at the Source magazine, were said to have had physical altercations in the past, as Busta brought up. Busta claimed that these occurrences illustrated the challenges and uncertainty that could arise from unresolved conflicts within the industry. Despite those situations, Busta and Rhymes, credit was given where credit was due. Benzino's contributions to hip-hop were acknowledged by him through The Source, a magazine that played a crucial role in shaping the genre and promoting emerging artists. "There had once been a basis for understanding," he stated, referring to the periods when Benzino acted as a mediator between him and Dave Mays. Despite the fact that disagreements will inevitably occur, Busta concluded that it was essential to address them with maturity and openness. It was a rare moment of clarity amid the chaos, and the discussion shed light on how long-standing relationships may be tested when pride gets in the way of communication. On social media, Benzino chose to remain mute while Busta Rhymes handled the situation delicately. Another individual whose silence spoke louder than words was Coi Leray, the principal figure in the first disagreement. She decided not to speak in public. Many fans want to know her true feelings regarding her father's accusations against Busta Rhymes. There is, however, precedent for this situation. On many occasions, Benzino has been known to give his daughter career advice. Through his frequent criticism of her professional choices on Twitter, he brought attention to internal conflict and made private family issues public. But how had the animosity between them escalated to this level? The first thing that made Coi Leray famous was her breakthrough hit song, No More Parties. The song quickly gained popularity, putting her in the spotlight and attracting the attention of business executives and other singers. As a result of her distinctive tone and fearless manner, she gained a reputation for bold independence and authenticity. The content of her lyrics, however, was what sparked the controversy. Using her position, Coi shared her inner struggles and complaints with her father, Benzino. She revealed wounds that extended beyond conflicts at work by expressing dissatisfaction. In her lyrics, the lines she chose were, "My daddy let me down, but I promise you I won't let up," portraying their strained relationship clearly. Her message resonated with the audience because she delivered it with sincere emotion. The public responded well to her use of her art to address personal trauma, with many applauding her courage. However, Benzino instantly denied it. He asserted that Coi was raised in luxury, led a prosperous life, and was given every opportunity she could possibly desire. This denial set up an extremely publicized battle between parent and daughter. A private family scenario may have been seen on a number of social media sites. Both sides made public declarations that further deepened the divide and made their private dispute the national conversation. A complex picture of family fame and emotional fallout was shown in the drama. Benigno responded to mounting criticism of his difficult relationship with Coi Leray with an angry online post that read, "I never ever hated my own daughter." He claimed that he has been misrepresented and that correcting what he believes to be egregious errors about him is the only reason he has made public statements. Coi, according to Benigno, initiated the public dispute by calling him broke and downplaying his impact in a song. Benigno criticized the post's events, which became more heated. It seems to him like a more serious betrayal. He accused unnamed individuals of using his daughter as a weapon against him, even suggesting that her appearance on TV was a deliberate attempt to damage his reputation. "We're at war, right?"
He said. He took a firm stand at the end of his
letter, expressing his anger and condemning anyone who supported what he believed to be manipulation. He said that good fathers and men would sympathize with him. On the Way Miami podcast, host Benigno talked about the emotional toll his daughter's feud has taken on him in a passionate conversation.
He discussed his years of sacrifice at the
Source magazine and expressed his heartbreak at the public outcry. In the meantime, Coi Leray has discussed her father's legacy. She credited him with influencing a pivotal cultural era and acknowledged his prominence in the 1990s hip-hop movement. But when he lost the Source magazine when she was just 9 years old, she also made it clear that their financial situation fell apart. According to Coi, her perception of instability and mistrust was shaped by her memory. She frequently discusses her displeasure with his time spent on hip-hop and love, as well as her opinion that he did a bad job of managing the Source's legacy. Coi feels that his popular persona has diminished the value of his earlier creations and overshadowed their significance. As a result, their story becomes even more emotionally complicated. It becomes evident that isolated incidents are not the source of their split. Identity, control, and legacy are all involved. On one side is a parent who is passionately trying to get credit for his creations. On the other hand, a daughter fighting for independence and self-acceptance in her own true. Coi has made it clear that she believes now is her time to shine and that her father should finally take a back seat. In addition to music, Benigno's interference in Coi Leray's career often led to misunderstandings and conflict. One significant instance was when Benigno announced on social media that Coi and Nicki Minaj were working on a duet too soon. Her single featuring Nicki Minaj will be out shortly. "That's going to be crazy," he declared confidently. However, Nicki Minaj quickly denied any such collaboration, creating the appearance that the statement was a total hoax. When Benigno responded to public criticism, he said, "I feel terrible and depressed. I'm fully at fault, and it won't occur again." Even with the apologies, the harm had already been done. And it increased worries about his propensity to, "I'm going to make her show up on your TV." 50 Cent wrote enthusiastically on Instagram when he announced the casting. "Put the first week of work out of your mind." Fans were thrilled with the post, but Benigno wasn't. "Hey, Rapman, AK59, I appreciate you putting my Coi on. But does she know you and stars haven't been seeing eye to eye lately?" 50 Cent wrote as he introduced himself to Coi's professional life. The tone of the rekindled tensions between him and 50 Cent and the implied sarcasm make it clear that this animosity goes beyond current events. Carey has now begun to feel the immediate effects of their lengthy feud, from distorting public perceptions to raising questions about, among other things, professional prospects. Benigno's actions have unnecessarily hindered her career. However, to understand how these tensions have reached this point, we need to go back to the late 1990s, when 50 Cent was an ambitious upstart from Queens, New York, and Benigno was a major industry figure and co-owner of Source magazine, one of the most important hip-hop publications at the time. The first seeds of their decades-long animosity were sown in that competitive and often brutal music industry. And over time, their animosity has only grown more personal and public. Although the specifics of their first encounter are still unknown, it is widely believed that 50 Cent and Benzino met at a major music business function in New York City. However, a pivotal event in 2000 would change the course of their relationship. Disagreement. It took place at the storied recording studio, known as the Hit Factory, which is situated on 54th Street. The studio, which was well known for housing some of the biggest hip-hop stars, was the scene of an unanticipated catastrophe. 50 Cent was stabbed several times during a violent brawl that day, leaving him with significant injuries. Traditionally, the Hit Factory served as a center for talent, creativity, and teamwork. However, it became the scene of a risky altercation on this specific day. Tensions rapidly increased as 50 Cent entered the studio, leading to an attack that left him bleeding and in urgent need of medical care. According to reports, Benzino saw the immediate aftermath of the attack because he was in the building at the time. In spite of any conflicts, Benzino's reaction was impulsive because of their animosity, but he knew that a life could be at stake. So he acted quickly, arranging for transportation, calling a car service, and making sure 50 Cent was driven to the hospital as soon as possible. This intervention revealed a side of Benzino that rarely makes headlines. One that is marked by decisive action in a crisis, and it complicated a previously tense relationship between the two men. Even though their rivalry would later worsen, the long-running conflict between these musicians took on a life of its own, captivating audiences and the media around the world, the industry. One of the distinguishing characteristics of this period was the release of diss recordings from all sides. 50 Cent, who is known for his unbridled lyrical flair, responded to Benzino and Ja Rule with a series of singles that were full of harsh criticisms and personal jabs, intensifying an already tense battle by attacking both personal histories and believability. Ja Rule didn't keep quiet and released his own songs, each of which aimed to damage 50 Cent's reputation and status in the hip-hop scene, while Benzino, using his own platform, fueled the fires and contributed to the ongoing discourse, with each new album being more vicious than the last. The lyrical battle quickly grew more intense and received considerable attention on radio and online forums. Only the music. The feud affected interviews, award shows, and social media. Fans eagerly awaited every new development. The headline-driven struggle for supremacy, whether it was expressed through a biting song or a contentious post, made rap beef a cultural spectacle. The industry changed over time, the focus shifted, new performers emerged, and the intensity of the feud decreased. Although reflection replaced the once explosive struggle, the resentment remained. Benzino and 50 Cent's online tension continues to simmer through barbs, memes, and indirect shots. Even though Ja Rule and 50 have distanced themselves from the ferocity of that era. If you enjoyed this in-depth look, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications. If you're ready for more in-depth analyses, click on one of the videos that are currently playing on your screen. Will the answer come in time, or will the conflict never be resolved?